Hi everyone, so today I'm coming to you guys with this look which was achieved using the Kat Von D Monarch eyeshadow palette. This is what the outside look. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it's sort of like a really hard cardboard packaging. And here's a quick view of all the beautiful colors. And there's a bit of shimmer as well as matte eyeshadows in this particular palette. And if you are familiar with the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks swatch video that I did, in that video you would observe that I did mention there were two of the lip colors that I really was not feeling, which was A Go-Go as well as Vampiria or Vampira. Those two, all how I try using different lip pencils, mixing colors, was not working for me. So I end up taking them back to Sephora and I end up picking up this palette. And I also wanted to get the Chrysalis palette, which is the one with the purple and blue eyeshadows, but I end up getting the Shade and Light palette, which I really wasn't really like interested in getting this, to be quite honest. But my girlfriend who works at Sephora as well, she was like really behind me to pick it up, and she was like, you know, you wouldn't really regret it. I was like, I have enough like neutral palettes, and she was like, this particular palette you will really not regret it. She bought, I believe she told me, 3 of these palettes, 2 for backup and 1 that she used like on an everyday basis. This, as you can see, it's been all over YouTube, but I'm going to show you guys. These are the colors in the palette. And even though I was hesitant on getting it, when I started swatching it, I was really impressed with the eyeshadows. Because one thing I usually look for, especially for these palettes that are on the pricier side, I like eyeshadows that are pigmented. I look for shadows that are long wearing, also creamy and buttery eyeshadows. Like that way it's easy to blend and not so powdery, because if it's powdery, then when you start blending, in my opinion, I find like you have to constantly reapply, because once you start with the blending, it seems to just like blend away the color. So I always make sure it's long lasting, pigmented, buttery or creamy. I also like eyeshadows that are easy to blend, and also eyeshadows that are buildable. So those are just kind of like a few things I look for when I am purchasing like eyeshadows. So yeah, I just quickly wanted to show you guys these 2 palettes. And like I said, I think I may go back for the Chrysalis, but they didn't have that particular one available at Sephora. That's why I end up going and picking up this one instead. So yes, and if you like this look that I created using the Monarch palette, please continue watching for the tutorials. Sorry for the long intro and the rambling, but let's move right on to the tutorial. As usual, I'm going to start off by priming the eyelid area, and today I'm going to be using one of MAC Paint Pot. This one is in the color Rubenesque, which is sort of like a gold paint pot. So I'm just going to take some of that and apply it on the eyelid area, making sure to keep that color right underneath the crease. So I'm going in with the Kat Von D Monarch palette, and the first color that really caught my attention was this beautiful gold color right here. And it reminds me of, I took out my MAC palette, it reminds me of Gold Mine and Amber Lights. I believe like if the both of them have a baby, this will be the color. So here's what this is what Gold Mine look like, and then down here we have Amber Lights. So I believe with those colors together, I believe this would be the outcome. So this color is what I'm going to be using and applying it on the entire eyelid area. So with a shader brush, I'm just going to start pressing that color onto the lid. Next, with a fluffy brush, I'm going in with this chocolate brown color right here. and apply that on the outer part of the lid. I'm just going to tap off the excess eyeshadow and just start applying that on the outer part of the lid. Next, with another fluffy brush, I'm going in with this sort of burnt orange color right here. Again, tapping off any excess eyeshadow, and I'm just going to start blending this right above that dark brown color and blending it in the crease as well. Next, I'm going in with this sort of vanilla-like color on top here and applying that underneath the brow bone. And then back with the fluffy blending brush and just soften all those colors. For the inner corner of the lower lash line, I am going in with the same golden color, which is right here. And with like a fine tip brush, I'm just going to start applying that on the inner third of the lower lash line. And also blending that in the tear duct as well. Then with a small smudge brush, I am going in with the chocolate brown color and apply that on the rest of the lower lash line. Kind of like smudging it into the lash line. Going in with a crease brush, I'm going in with the same burnt orange color on the end here, and I'm just going to blend that on top of the brown color that I use underneath the lower lash line. For the mascara, I'm going to be using the Marc Jacobs mascara and applying a coat on the upper and lower eyelash. And for the eyelash today, I am going to be using my Red Cherry number 43. And on the waterline, I am going to be using my Smolder eye pencil from MAC. Now that I have just finished completing the entire eye area, I am going to move on to the face, and the foundation that I will be using today, it is from Sephora, and this is their 10-Hour Perfection Foundation. This one is in the color Matte Tan number 35, and this is a really great inexpensive foundation. It gives good coverage, and the only thing that I notice is a bit on the thicker side, and it also oxidizes a bit. So what I usually do of lately whenever I'm using this foundation, I will either use my MAC Studio Fix Fluid Liquid Foundation in NC 44 from MAC, or I will either use my MAC Face and Body Foundation, and this one is in C6. This will help to also thin out the foundation, and it will also help give me like a custom blend color, which works for me. So I already put 1 pump of the Sephora foundation on the palette, and I will be using the MAC Studio Fix. So I put half pump, I mix it together, and this is what I have on the palette. So let's start applying this to the face. I also forgot to mention that I will be setting that with my Studio Fix Fluid powder from MAC in NC45. So as you can see, this is kind of like what the coverage looks like. To lightly contour, I'm going in with MAC Blunt Blush, which is this one right here. Onto the blush I will be using, this is from NYX, and this one is their blush in the color Raisin. This is what it looks like. To add a little bit of glow to this look, I'm going in with one of MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. This one is in the color Soft and Gentle. On my lips, I already applied the lip balm. I will be using a brown lip liner today, and this one, it is from MAC. This one is in the color Cork. And I will also be mixing two lipsticks today. One is from MAC. This one is the Viva Glam number 2. And that's what it looks like. And I will also be mixing that with the NYX matte lipstick. And this one is in the color Strawberry Daiquiri, which looks like this. I'm going to start off using the NYX lipstick first. And this wraps up today's look. As usual, a quick overview. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. As usual, thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.